Hey guys, welcome to another podcast. We just did a quickie this time. I was out at Rebecca Baruchi from Bexlife.com. I was out at the Baruchi farm. They just have this incredible land over there with goats and chickens and children, and it's just really cool to spend time with her and her husband Justin and the kids. And I went out there to do a series of videos for 2015 for Bexlife.com. And it was sort of like a Q&A, detox Q&A video series that we did. So after we were done filming, we decided to do a podcast, just a quickie, to sort of get into some of the concepts a little more deeply, to answer some of the questions that we didn't get to answer in the videos. And somewhere along the lines, we started talking and then answering some questions. And then Rebecca got into a really intense and graphic and wonderful story about the delivery of her last child, Annabelle, and so this is really a podcast about childbirth and hypnobirthing, and it's pretty cool. It's a good time, and it's a quick one. So, guys, thanks so much for listening. You could find us on iTunes. You can go to everydaydetox.org. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can also go to YouTube, watch these podcasts, and if you would please just comment and rate us and give us thumbs up, and that would be great. I'd appreciate it so much. So anyway, I think we were talking about, we started off talking about Durian Rider and Freely and Raw Till 4, and because someone had a question about them, and they come up all the time, and they just give so much to talk about because they're constantly making videos and sort of pushing boundaries of other diet philosophies and things like that. So we had started talking about them, so let's just drop in there right now and welcome. So I guess I had made a comment about that on something, because someone in the questions that we had earlier, somebody said, like, why don't you like Freely's diet or something like that. I don't remember ever making that comment, but the one thing that I agree with them on the vegan thing. I love that they bring I love that they mix up the whole scene and cause all this controversy, and it's just, I mean, look, do we both watch it? I watch it, it's like, it's fun to watch.
Only for research.
For research?
I don't watch it for entertainment.
What are you researching?
I want to see what she's saying.
You want to see what people are listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, that in all of my experience with food, and this is the big place, and this is why I probably would disagree with them as far as food quantity and stuff like that, is there's this idea that we survive on carbohydrates, which is great because, you and I both love fruit. We both eat fruit. Everything's cool. With that part of it, but it's this volume thing, and there's this idea of animals in nature look for calories all the time, so we should constantly be eating and carbing up and carb the fuck up and carb the fuck up, and that's their whole thing, carb the fuck up. I don't know how they made an entire series of videos for like 5 years to say they eat carbs. Like, that's all they say in every video. It's amazing. It's like the same thing. It's amazing.
But like the plot of every sitcom is identical. So you don't need new material.
In my experience, though, in my personal life and clinically, is that detox and health happens in emptiness. It happens in the breaks between food. It happens with lightening of things, not eating massive amounts of food all the time. It doesn't mean that we can't overeat on good food sometimes. We have to like put rules and stuff around that. But the constant needing for food, otherwise feeling out of balance, is a symptom of not really being clean and efficient chemically, biochemically.
Okay, but you're really skinny.
And I eat good, healthy food.
I mean, people are they're gonna say that.
They're gonna say I'm really skinny.
Yeah.
Okay, but
okay, you're really skinny because you have this whole like absence thing, and you eat very little. You don't eat a lot, and you say it's because your body is very efficient. And let's look to men more. Who say, like, I don't want to be skinny, like I want to be big, or I want to have a lot of muscle, and that requires a lot of food and a lot of calories.
Well, this is the mind creating an image and then physically manipulating your body to get it. Women that want to lose weight that don't need to lose weight, and men that want to gain muscle that goes beyond what they would normally be able to accomplish in the natural world moving. It's just our minds trying to create something that's not a reality and make it a reality. And we can do it, and we've done it. Sure. You see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you see people that that get really thin in an unhealthy way too. We're just trying to shape our bodies around that. So. Where are we going with that?
No, that was a good answer. No, that was a good answer because they're
It's
going
the
to
same
say,
thing.
I don't want that. I don't want to be. So, okay, so you don't want that, but know then that your quest for having these like big giant muscles is, I mean, that's not necessarily healthy. That's not necessarily what the picture of health is.
It is for a very short amount of time when you could knock a tree down and lift a car, and then as you age, it catches up to you.
Why would you ever need to do that?
It's just a male thing, you know? But, you know, when I lift weights, though, I gain muscle. When I sit in front of the computer and I write books and I do yes, I do. I do get skinnier, and I don't. You know, I have a raw food dude's body. Like I don't have. You know, but when I do train, I mean, God, just a few months ago when I was riding, 28 miles a day in Maine up inclines all day, and my legs looked amazing. I was like, wow, that's great. They were like muscular, shredded. It was totally cool. That happens when I do exercise, resistance exercise, lifting weights, things like that.
Yeah.
I get bigger. I'm not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger ever, and I don't want to because it's a manipulation and it's not reality and it has consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that was a really good answer. That's something that we haven't discussed before. That I would like to talk about a lot more is, like, yes, this diet may not help you to achieve this look, but this look is not something to necessarily strive for if you're looking for health.
Yeah. It's a false image.
Mm-hmm.
And, Dr. Bishy would always say, he goes, I'm very skinny. He goes, but I choose to be. He goes, at my age, and this is when he was 70, like 77 or something. He's like, I like to be thin.
He's so old.
And move. Yeah, he's 86 now. And he's like, he goes, I like to be able to move and move freely. He's like, I don't want to be bigger than I am now. He's like, so I'd rather have the diet I have now without the inflammation, being thin, being able to move, being able to run, and, and not get bulked up. But yeah, that's what that is. It's just this weird idea that we think we need to look like. We're not gorillas. We had a lot of questions. We only answered a few of them today, but I was thinking about, someone was saying they needed to lose weight, and I eat really clean, but I still have this weight on my body. That was one of the questions.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, of course, I'd have to sit down with someone to really know what was going on with them, but women, especially, like hormonally, like there's fat that needs to be on the body. And I'm not a hormone, I don't know that much about hormones at all. But I know that when women get into raw foods or when they're high endurance athletes and they lose and they don't have body fat, that their periods go away and their hormones get out of whack because women need body fat.
Yeah. Well, I can say this. I'll talk about personal experience. So here I am right now. I eat well. I sleep well. I'm nursing a baby. I just had a baby. So she's almost 3 months old. So I'm full-time nursing, on-demand feeding, all of that good attachment parenting thing. So I feel that my body right now is as exactly where it should be. Like right now, my body is perfect. So I still have a little weight around my midsection. I'm still carrying a little bit in my hips and thighs. I'm not at the height of my muscle, which makes me sad, but I'm not lifting and, working out all the time. But this is my perfect body for me, whether I like it or not.
And it's serving you no matter what.
Yeah.
It's the trust. Did we talk about that in the podcast or
No.
just earlier? There's this lack of trust when it comes to the body. So symptoms. People think that escaping symptoms is going to get them well. I don't feel good if I take the pain away, then I feel better. Then I'm better. But they're not, because whatever was moving chemically in their body was just shut down. That process was shut down. And that's tricky for people. It's hard, as a practitioner, it's hard because I'll be working with someone and I know that they're 99% going through a detox and they're like, Mike, I have fevers. I was throwing up all night. I feel out of balance. And I want to say, go with it. But I'm also a colonic therapist and a nutritional counselor, and I am not a medical doctor. I don't have, I don't want to put myself out there, but I know what the right answer is. 99%. It's hard. The symptoms of actually being sick and having a problem and the symptoms of healing could be exactly the same.
But I think that, again, I'm not a medical doctor. I think that the more you're in this practice, it's called a practice of eating well, movement, whatever it is, you get to know yourself in a way that it will be very clear to you when the symptoms are right and when they're wrong. And that's why I feel like I'm in that place. So, and like a little light bulb came up, and body changes are symptoms. Like the way my body looks and is shaped, even over, let's say, 9 months of a pregnancy and then postpartum or whatever, that's all a symptom of whatever is going on with me, and it's good. So this is a good indicator that I'm doing the right thing, and I need to accept that. And I write about that too. Like, you don't have to love your body all the time to respect it and know that it's working well for you. Like, I do not love this stage of the way my body looks because it's not ideal as attractive in my mind or what I would be attracted to, but that's okay because I know where it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to do anything to mess it up or manipulate it or change it before it's ready. I'm just going to wait it out till I can, go back to the gym and do whatever I do.
Right. And you can accept the reality of that your body's trying to take care of you and it's exactly where it needs to be. You're writing books on kind of spirituality and meditation now.
Not spirituality.
Well, okay, you were
my editor would kill me if I said that.
You were talking about writing something about like sometimes you hate your body and it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sneaking it in.
So you write, there's actually something really important I want to talk to you about, but I have to pee so bad. So I'm going to go pee. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you this question. Okay.
I've been holding it for 7 hours. No.
I could think again.
Am I just rambling like a lunatic?
No, you're not rambling at all. Perfect. All right.
I hate being out of control.
I could think again. You're not out of control. We're in complete control here.
Can I tell you one thing, though, about this baby and what I believe to be true? And I don't care if anyone thinks that I'm wrong. I believe that she is calmer. Except she was the nurse. But she is this magical, sweet, really chill baby. I think because of my practice being so different when I was pregnant and I was meditating and I just had this happiness about me and joy about the pregnancy that I haven't had in the past. Like, always happy to have kids and all that, but very different with this one. And I think that she's just, I don't know if I drew her towards me, saying like, this is the person that I need in my life right now. Or she was a result of, me feeling better during pregnancy, but she's awesome. I know, you just want to nurse though.
You told me your first text to me was this was primal. You said it was like, this was like a primal pregnancy.
Really?
Delivery.
Oh, God. Primal meaning.
Yeah. Was she born here?
She was born upstairs, yep.
Oh, that's great.
In my bed.
That's great.
It was the most beautiful day. I did hypnobirthing, and it was, I know, sweetheart. Honey, you want to just walk around with her for 2 seconds? I know, I wanted her, but now she's mad because she's sitting still and looking at Johnny Cash. I did the hypnobirthing, so the whole entire day, my husband and I labored on our own, like by ourselves. The midwives were on call. We went and visited them in the morning just to check and see where I was. And we came back to the farm and we walked around and petted the goats and took pictures. And I was, getting through my labor pains or surges really peacefully, just kind of like rocking it out and taking long walks. It was such an amazing experience. I mean, this could be a whole video. I've yet to make the video for my channel. I really want to talk about this labor experience, but second stage labor, when the baby comes out, it gets raw. Like, there's no amount of hypnobirthing that's going to make it okay, but it was just really awesome. Like, I was excited about it. I was excited even about the pain.
Hypnobirthing. So this was a drug-free delivery.
Well, yeah.
And Summer was a drug-free delivery too.
Yes, yeah. At home too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what about the other children?
The other 3 were in a hospital, and I had 2 epidurals and then 1 without.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So drug-free delivery. What hypnobirthing? I saw the things, and it's just, I'm not going to be giving birth anytime soon, so I didn't read what hypnobirthing was. But I saw that
Hypnobirthing is basically, so it's hypnosis to help you through the birthing process, and all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So people think of hypnosis as like the guy with like the watch or whatever doing something to you. Hypnosis is not that at all. It's you reframing your own thoughts with the assistance of like a guide, a hypnotherapist, hypno coach. Mm-hmm. So
you're putting yourself there, basically.
Yeah, I put myself there, and I already had experience in hypnosis and with self-hypnosis, so I went there easily. But it's reframing things about like pain. So pain isn't scary. Like, the contractions aren't scary. Rather, they're surges that bring my baby to me. It's like this reframe of thought. So
I love this already. This is some Tony Robbins stuff right here. Reframing a situation.
Yeah, like he didn't invent it.
No, I know, but he brought it to me.
Maybe he did hypnobirthing. No, but it's but that's all what hypnosis is. Yeah. It's just looking at a situation, whether it's a past situation or something that's going on now, and just changing your thoughts around it, but doing it in a way that's isolated. Like, we can change our mind about anything at any time during the day in total consciousness. But it's that pure state when you're in hypnosis, when you're really connecting on that level. So the pain wasn't pain, because pain is scary, right? Pain is bad. It wasn't pain. It was a feeling, a sensation that was in service to bringing my baby closer to me. And with every contraction, I knew that she was getting closer, and I was really excited. And then the visualization of my body opening up, because what happens during labor and why it's so painful and why it doesn't happen fast enough or whatever is that you're tensing up. So everything's working against each other. So your uterus is like pulling back, and like the cervix is closing. Everything's bad when you're in pain and you're afraid. Hypnobirthing just allowed me to just relax and let everything work as it should. And I had this great trust in my body that it was going to happen for me. Like this sucks, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. Just like my body, I don't love the way it looks right now, but it's in its perfect state. And oh God, it was so good. I'm like, I want to have a baby every single day. I'm actually going to I'm actually going to do my doula certification in the spring in March.
Are you really? That's great.
That I feel is like my greatest calling. That's what everything has been leading up to. Like
wow.
Meditation, fitness, nutrition, everything is going to come together for me to help women get through pregnancy and through the natural birthing experience in the best way possible, in the most comfortable way possible. I am like so excited.
Wow. So you entered into it. You didn't fight anything. You entered into it and surrendered to the whole process, and it made it beautiful.
Night and day, this natural birth from my last one. The last one I was very afraid. I didn't prepare. I mean, I knew my body could do it, but I was so afraid. And to have that fear removed, this time I was not afraid. I was screaming and yelling, but I was like, I just want this baby. I want to see my baby. Like, it was crazy. But it wasn't, oh my God, take me to the hospital. I can't do this. Or it hurts so bad. It wasn't that. It was just like can I get a little graphic? So there's something that happens with my body where I never dilate to 10 centimeters. I always go to kind of 9.5. And then the doctor or whatever.
So 10 is where
the baby comes out.
It's been 23 years since I had a baby. So it's 10 is where the baby comes out. Okay.
There's always like this little lip of my cervix that doesn't like happen. And so the midwife has to pull it back for me. That hurts like a mofo. Like it's like ring of fire. It's bad. So she was like, I'm going to do it. Last time I fought her for 6 hours and said, you're not going to do it. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to touch me. This time I was like, do it. Pull me back, and it was like, bah! Baby flies out. Usually it's the head, and then it's the shoulders, and then she like a rocket, and I felt the whole thing. If I could just tell women the only reason to do it naturally, I don't even care like about like the drugs and whatever and getting the baby. I mean, I do care about that, but that 10 seconds where that rush, that euphoric rush of hormones and dopamine and all the natural stuff that happens.
Everything
it's like
relaxes. Your whole body relaxes at that point, or is it still contracting?
It's like you're flying.
Really?
It's like you're flying. So grab the baby. I see the baby. I'm like, give her to me. I grabbed her so hard that the placenta actually like pulled really tight. And like she was like, you have to loosen her up a little bit. I was so excited. She nursed immediately. She was like wriggling and like going up. She nursed. It was. Can I please have another baby right now?
She knows you're talking about her.
It was so good. It was so good. So I'm not going to do it again. I have 5 kids, but I really want to be there while other women do it and just tell them how amazing it is. How amazing it is to see what your body can do. It will change you. It's not a throwaway. It's not like, oh, whatever. If the baby comes out healthy, it's fine. However she gets here. It isn't that. It is not a throwaway. This experience, you are meant to have this experience. I'm so jacked up right now.
I can tell. I'm so glad you shared this story, though. I think a lot of people are going to really connect to it. I think a lot of women are going to connect to it.
So cool.
Because one of the things we talked about earlier today is the disconnection. Why is it so hard to know what to eat? Why is it so hard? Well, because we're disconnected, and you're talking about connecting to a very primal process. Yeah.
We're disconnected from birth. We're not, when we do the drugs and all that, we're not just disconnecting ourselves from pain. We're also disconnecting the baby from the experience. The baby gets that rush of hormones too. All of that. Why? I know you don't want to feel pain, but why rob your baby of that? It starts day one.
And what could those drugs be doing? They go into the baby.
Absolutely.
I mean, what could that's got to be,
Your doctor will say that they won't. And this is one part where I will just say, like, don't listen to your doctor, because the drugs do go to the baby. And there is a difference in the baby and their behaviors afterwards, especially immediately after, when they need to nurse. Mm-hmm. And so many women have issues with milk supply and the baby being awake enough to nurse, so that if you don't get it in those first few days, then you might have missed it completely.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying because if you don't start the process, it won't continue. There was a big controversy with Nestle about this, because they pushed a formula in, I don't remember where it was, but I think it was a third world country, and they got all these women on it. And then when the women ran out of money to buy the formula, their breasts couldn't produce milk anymore.
They also didn't have enough clean water supply to be able
to mix
it. There was a whole bunch of issues happening there, but and Nestle won't stop.
They keep making that.
Yeah, they're still doing the same stuff, but yeah. So natural birth, it's so exciting.
No, that's epic.
And it's not, and I don't feel special in that regard. I'm just like another woman. Like, women are being told that they can't do it, and the percentage of women who can't do it, either have a natural birth or can nurse, is so small. With nursing specifically, it's under 5%. So women, and every woman I meet is the exception. They're saying, like, I couldn't nurse. I'm meeting way too many. I'm meeting way more than 5% of the women. They're saying they can't nurse. And the numbers show that women aren't nursing. They're just being told wrong. It's not them having bad intentions or being lazy or whatever. It's definitely not their bodies failing them. It's their doctors failing them. It's just the media failing them. There's a lot of things that are going wrong. And I just want to be the voice that says, you can do it. You were made to do this. So. Did
you ever see the film Babies?
With the 3 babies around the world?
Yeah. And do you remember they had, I think it was Africa, one of the countries in Africa, and the baby was like chewing on a rock and like grabbing its mom and
like pooping, and she would like wipe it on her leg.
She'd wipe it right off her leg. Like it was not, though, I mean, that child probably knows what to eat more than we do. And when you see what happens with the Japanese baby and the American baby, it's like, because you don't know what to do. You're just like sterilized in this thing with this fake light on you, and it's like you're not in a natural environment from the start. Of course we're disconnected.
The one part of my life where I'm so connected, and it's like it's completely unpolluted, is my connection with this baby, even more so than any other baby, just because I'm open to it. Even her poop smells good to me and triggers a response hormonally in me that I've never experienced before. Like, I smell her poop, it smells sweet to me, and it feels like I need to be close to her because I have to clean her up. And her breath after I breastfeed her is intoxicating. I can hardly put it into any other words.
That's not weird to me at all. I think when people eat well and the babies are breastfeeding and eating the right stuff, I've always noticed that baby poop doesn't smell bad. Babies that have like formula and weird foods and things, and the parents eat weird foods, it smells horrible. It smells like fucking dog shit sometimes, and you're like, whoa, change that baby. But it's not. That's not the normal smell of crap.
But it's like I'm making something, like all breast milk is different. Like none of it is, formula is a formula. Yeah. All breast milk is different. So it's all good for you though. Like we like trade and stuff. I was nursed off of my aunt when my mother got sick. So she like played wet nurse for a little bit and nursed me. So that was cool. But
hold on. Was your aunt breastfeeding at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
She was breastfeeding my cousin.
I don't know. Look,
I'm sorry.
I was ready to be fascinated.
No,
I was like, wow, you can do that?
No.
I didn't know. No, okay.
I mean, you can do. People have done that, but she didn't do that. She was nursing my cousin.
People have done that. They hadn't been pregnant, and and they start producing milk.
There was just a really interesting story about a lesbian couple who had a baby, and both of them were nursing the baby. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was possible.
It is possible.
I know that women's periods sync up, and there's definitely connection there. I know that I've known that, but did not know.
It's a long process of like having a baby suckle and do like the whole thing, but yeah, milk will come.
And your body knows when the it's interesting. Earlier today, you were like, no, I know that she's
about to wake up because I was filling up. Because we're on a schedule together, but yeah, so her breath smells so good, and I smell it, and I'm like, oh, but. That's the connection. That's what we need. And I think that this is what women are not told happens. This is what happens. That you will become so hyper connected, and you become connected to your baby. You become more connected with yourself. we're supposed to have this relationship. This is the miracle of the biology and the physicality of being here. And these are the experiences that we're supposed to experience to feed our soul. When I say, we are not our bodies, but who are we without them? Like, it has to happen. This is a spiritual experience that I'm having that I could not have if I didn't have a body. I want to go smell her breath right now.
Well, let's I
just talked so long about the baby.
Thank you for sharing that. No, that was powerful. That was good stuff. And speaking of the baby, let's give the baby her mommy back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing a podcast with me.
No, thank you.
My friends, thank you for watching. Bexlife.com. You can watch all the videos that we shot today. They'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of weeks. And for more podcasts, everydaydetox.org. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Word.